Welcome to Talk It Out with MSK. I am here with Michelle Martin, who is, among many things and wear many hats, the executive assistant to Charlotte Miller Lacey, founder and national executive director for I Am My Sister's Keeper and the MSK Community Center. Michelle has been conducting, I think on the 16th and the 18th, today was the last day if you didn't get in, a money class. And Michelle, from when I was sitting out watching the teens, and this is for youth, they were so engrossed into how money works. So go right into it and then tell me why. Why is this a passion of yours, and why did you agree to share your talents, your time, and your treasure with MSK?
Absolutely, and thank you for having me. I appreciate it, and I also appreciate being your executive assistant, as well as working with the young people. When it comes to money, my passion came for money, or learning more about money and how it works when I was fired from my job in 2012.
Fired you?
Yes.
How dare them?
I know, right? And it's their fault. They regret it now. But from that experience, not growing up around money, not knowing much about money outside of just seeing my parents work, pay bills, and they told me, go to school, get good grades, go to college, and land that corporate job. So the corporate world is where most of us were trained or believed that that's where we can get financial freedom. And I learned very quickly after 17 years of working for someone else that that's not the path to financial freedom. Having someone holding you down with their thumb on your neck. So what I did is I started to learn more about money because I needed it, because when I moved my retirement and all of my funds and I rolled those things over, I began to live off of that because I never was taught about money or how it works or how to invest it or how to save it. I had a little savings, I had a 401k, but no explanation or no education on what to do. So my passion comes from my experience of not being able to have the education and the literacy of finances needed to build my future. So for me, giving back to the young people is a passion, just to get them started young. The sooner you start, the better equipped you are, the better off you'll be in the future when it comes to making smart financial decisions.
So how do you get youth to get interested in it? Because they pay no bills. They don't, they could care less how money is spent or where or we think anyway.
Right.
So how did you have, so I think we had about 10 students here today. And I mean, they were enjoying, they were engrossed, they were engaged, talking about money and what you need to do with it.
What you do to engage our young people is to talk about the things they like. They like purchasing shoes, they like being gamers, they like spending money that they earn through a job. I mean, some of them were summer youth workers, through allowance, just audit ends that they like. You have to engage them on their level. So you make it fun, you have conversation, we play bingo, and I think a lot of the excitement came because one person said bingo before another person, so it was a little competition going on. And just engaging them in the conversation of what do they do with their money when they get paid? Do they help around the house, or do they save their money for college? And you talk to them about their dreams, their goals, and what they aspire to be.
I heard you talk about one student was on a contract with their parents.
Yes.
What does that look like? Because you said you wanted to tell all parents, put your kids on a contract.
Put your kids on a contract. I thought that was genius. The young lady's mom has her on a contract, so she agrees to do certain chores for X amount of dollars, and then she has a responsibility to pay towards the rent of her bedroom. Then she has to pay towards her cell phone, and I think there was one other bill that she has to contribute to, and that's just teaching our kids responsibility. Rent was $3, the utility or the cell phone was $2, and there was something else because she gets $15 every week. So when I talk to a parent who's starting their child off by understanding the responsibility of having money, I thought that was an excellent thing, and I think all parents should have something similar. What we did with our children, they didn't get allowance for being a part of the household. Like their room had to be cleaned, dishes had to be washed. That's a part of living amongst the house, in the household, and being family.
We were like that too.
Right? So anything they did extra, if they said, hey, I want to wash the windows to the house or wash the car, those things we consider extra. Or hey, clean the stove. I hated to clean the stove. That's something that they would come to me and do. They get extra money for that. But for the most part, kids, if you start them in the home and just give them some training and understanding, the great thing about it, they all got to take home what we call a How Money Works book. It's a parental guide, so parents can sit down and talk with their children about various topics concerning money, how to shop, how to go to the grocery store, how to, get the best deal or bargain. So it was an opportunity for me, and of course the kids are silly. We had to end a little early because their attention span is not all that long, but it was a great session.
Okay. Well, I just want to thank you, Michelle. Here at the MSK Community Center and through I Am My Sister's Keeper, we always talk about that exposure and opportunities. If you're not exposed to certain things, you don't know what you know. And it's great to have people to come in, and even with their attention span, they're receiving something.
Yes.
And if parents continue to reinforce some of those things, then it becomes a habit. So we thank you so much for coming in again, sharing your time, your talents, and your treasures, because it costs something for these books that you give so freely. But I want to thank you, and I appreciate you coming in and doing that. And this is what we do at the MSK Community Center and through I Am My Sister's Keeper, bridging the gap between home, school, and the community. Thank you.